What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to hardwire install a dash camera in your car. Dash cameras are becoming very popular nowadays. I think it started kind of in Russia with some of their fraud insurance scams, and they're quickly becoming more and more popular all around the world. I've always had a dash camera in every single car I've owned. I started off with a very cheap $30 eBay one, and when I bought my 2013 Subaru, I upgraded to this mini cam. This is branded by OjoCam. On the back here you might be able to see it says OjoCam Pro 2. This is a really awesome dash camera. It records in I think 1440 and I believe 30 frames per second. So this particular model of dash cam actually has a GPS sensor built into it. So when you plug this into your computer, it preloads some software in which has a map, and it shows you exactly where you were driving. It also shows you how fast you were driving and the direction of travel, which is really a really cool feature this has. Like I mentioned before, this is the OjoCam Pro 2, powered by mini USB on the top here with a microphone. Power button is on the side, and then you have a very small, let's say about 1-inch LCD screen on the back, with a few buttons to go through the menu systems in the camera. And also this current model stores video files on a micro SD card. If you buy this camera from OjoCam, they do give you the option of including a micro SD with the camera. So this particular one is a Samsung 32 gig. So to show you what the hardwire cable looks like, on one end here you've got a micro USB plug. This goes right into the camera. It's kind of bent just because of the way I had it mounted before. The other end of the cable is more important. On this side you've got two wires, one black and one red. The black is just your ground or your negative wire. The red's your actual positive or your power wire. So for this, what I've done is I've connected the red wire onto a ATA fuse. You can get this this section here from any of your local automotive hardware shops. I'd say between $5 and $10. And what this does is on the end here, this taps into your fuse box underneath your steering column. And instead of being one fuse on the end, you have two now. So this acts as a fuse for whatever you're tapping into, and then you have a fuse for your now dash camera that you're plugging in. And then this just goes into somewhere that you can ground. I'll show you where this goes right now. Alright, so inside your vehicle, you'll have a fuse box underneath your steering wheel. I'm pretty sure every single car has it this way. So you'll open this up, and if you just pull, it'll come right off. And you'll have to remember there's a diagram beneath here that shows you what each fuse does. What you want to find is the accessory fuse. That's the fuse for everything that comes on when you turn your key to the accessory or the on switch for your vehicle. So we'll just set that down here for now. Take a closer look inside. Inside you can see there's many fuses here. So that's why it's important to look at the diagram beneath, because right now we have no idea what any of these fuses are for or what they do. So down here, if I look at this, I can see the fuse right here is 7.5 amp for ACC or accessory. Now you could possibly use other ones if you wanted to, like your ignition, or I think there's one even for the actual 12 volt plug, yeah, right there. Different ones, but I would recommend going with just the small one, 7.5 amp right here. So after looking at the diagram, I've determined that the accessory fuse is the one right down there. We're just going to pull that out. Best way to do it is with some pliers. There we go. Now just set that aside. What you have to do now is run the wire beneath your dashboard here. You don't want to go through this door, of course. Go from beneath it, and it'll pop up here, and just plug it in. So if I can get this in here with one hand maybe. You will notice that the ATA fuse actually kind of blocks one of your other fuses, so you might have trouble getting it in there. Luckily for me, the one I chose had nothing next to it, so maybe yours will be the same doing this. But now that you've got the fuse plugged in, you now essentially have power running to your dash cam. But in order for the dash cam to actually power up and work, you need to complete that circuit by connecting this negative wire or this ground wire somewhere. Now I know the camera's not focusing correctly here, but what you need to do is connect this ground wire to somewhere that the electricity can be ground to. It can't be connected to something that has paint on it, so it has to be some sort of exposed metal on the vehicle. Now luckily for me, on this 2016 Subaru, there's actually an exposed screw right on bare metal right in here. So alright, so as you can see here where I've got the flashlight shining, there's some bare metal right in here, and there's actually a bolt connected to it that's fully exposed and unpainted. So what we can do is wrap that ground wire around that and close the bolt on it. Now if you want to do this the proper way, you can connect a ring around the open end of that negative wire and then close that on that bolt there or wherever you're grounding it. Alright, so as you can kind of see, I've got the black wire now connected to a piece of metal which grounds that. So next step is to gently route all that cable up through the side. So now we're going to carefully run this wire up through the side of the dash here. So I've run this wire now along the entire pillar up to here. Now this is a tricky part, you gotta be careful. I'm actually using this little grip here to kind of push this piece down in here, so depending on your car you have to be quite careful with this one spot. So alright, so now the headliner here is probably the easiest part. You just want to slowly tuck this in up here all the way across until you're in the middle here where your mirror is, because you're going to put the dash camera most likely up here behind. So that's what I'm doing, is just tucking this in now. Alright, so I just finished tucking in the wire throughout the headliner there. That small block on the end that is I believe it kind of reduces the power, is really tricky to fit in. You do have to definitely pull your headliner down a bit to put it in, and there's a little bit of a lip inside there that blocks it, so you kind of have to like put it in and then down, and it drops into here, and now it's in there good. And then I just have the wire kind of running down here and into the dash cam there. So I wrapped it around, which looks kind of neat to me, and I've just mounted it right in behind my rear view mirror here. So I've just repositioned my mirror so I can get it, but when I put this back, it'll be pretty discreet. And yeah, I just positioned it so that it aims right up front and it looks really good. So it's powered on. As you can see, the blinking light worked perfectly the first time. Just kind of try and tidy up some of this excess here. So that's how you hardwire a dash cam. It should be the same principle for pretty much any other dash cam. Very easy to add a fuse in, less than 20 to 30 minutes to do this full complete install. But if you need any help or you have any questions or comments, just comment below and I'll definitely help you out. Again, this is OjoCam Pro 2. I'll leave a link in the description below to it, and it's about $130 I think, but yeah, you can get whatever one you want, and make sure you order a hardwire kit with it. You can see when I turn the ignition off, it shuts off. I think it shuts off after 15 seconds. That's what I have it set at. When I turn the ignition on, the dash cam fires up with it. So okay, so I hope this video helps someone out there if you're looking at hardwiring a dash cam. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. And thanks for watching. He's admiring the car. Oh God. Rave spotted.